Let's see how we can use the monuments to educate, and especially right now. January 19th is Robert E. Lee Day and part of Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Lee, in 1856, wrote to his wife, "Slavery as an institution is a moral and political evil." Perhaps we could look at other things that Lee did in his lifetime that helped New Orleans and America. So in 1841, he's the man who tamed the Mississippi, bringing commerce from St. Louis down to New Orleans. 1846 to 1848, he's a hero of the Mexican-American War, which added 6 western states, more commerce into New Orleans. He also came through New Orleans several times and stayed here. In 1861, he refused to lead a federal army across state lines, meaning Virginia and North Carolina into South Carolina, which was what Lincoln wanted to happen. That eventually led to the Posse Comitatus Act becoming law in 1878. The act prevents the President of the United States, future presidents, from actually moving troops across state lines without the governor's permission. 4 states switched their votes opted to succeed after Lincoln decided in mid-April that he wanted to invade South Carolina. Without that action, we probably would not have had a civil war. Lee was right. Here, in 1866, after the war, he installs the honor system at Washington University, where he's president of. In 1868, his Arlington estate becomes the National Cemetery, where we have Memorial Day. In 1915, the U.S. switched from the Southern tariffs to finance the country to income tax for revenue. That was a big part of what the war, because from 1815, and actually prior, as far back as 1790, the country had been using tariffs to pay its debts. In 1960, President Eisenhower attributed World War II success to studying Lee for how we moved troops through both the South and through Mexico. So right here behind us is the World War II Museum, which Eisenhower obviously is noted for. And the last thing I'll say is the Daughters of the Confederacy deserve a shout out here, because the monuments that they have erected, that they've been accused for putting up as white supremacy or evil means, if you read it, this is one of their last monuments they put up. It's in New Orleans, and it says to Father Ryan, "Put the banner away," that's the flag, "for it is weary. Round its staff till it is drooping, dreary. Furled it, fold it, let it rest." So we don't see any call out for nefarious reasons like we've been seeing from Mayor Landrieu and others that have decided to make removing art around the country for as a means to doing some type of social equality. But again, later, Lee's Tigers is 12,000 men from Louisiana, 11,000 who did not come home. And you can see there are some books on them. They ended up becoming the LSU Tigers. So one area, we might take one pedestal down, but you can't remove everybody that claims that they're an LSU Tiger. Interesting. All right, have a good day. This next Friday is Robert E. Lee's birthday. And we want to remember that this is Human Trafficking Awareness Month.